Okay, now here you see this is our topic, and then we have to write about this topic 250 words. Okay, so you have to write 250 words about this topic. Okay, so in IELTS writing task 2, you need to write an introduction and a main body. So you have to write introduction, and then we talk about these questions and whatever they wanted us to write. So these things we write in the description part. And finally, we give our opinion or other thing at the end and provide a conclusion. Okay. So before we start any writing, we need to do, it's called brainstorming. That means we need to create some ideas. Okay. So what is the topic you see here?
In some countries, owning a home is better than renting.
Yes, renting one is very important for people.
Yep.
Why might this be the case? Do you think this is a positive or negative situation? Okay. So here, if we identify some of the keywords, it's like owning a home and renting. These two, I think, are the key features here. Okay. And the other associated thing is like in some countries and important for people. Okay. And in the descriptive part, we have to focus why this is the case and is this a positive or a negative situation. So we will have to discuss these things. Okay, so before we start, it's better to create some idea what you're going to write. Okay, so we can create this idea. Okay, so now why this might be this case. So why? So if we write why, create some idea. Why own a house? Why do you think people should own a house?
For privacy reasons, they have their privacy.
Yes, okay, privacy. What are the other reasons? Why mostly people buy a house? The number one reason is finance, So people, when you are renting, you give away all your money to the owner. So you save nothing. But when you buy a house and the repayments that you pay is something close to rent, whatever you pay, it's like going into your account. You are just paying the debts of your house. At the end of the day, that house would be yours. So to build asset, so people want to buy house to, like, it's kind of investment. They want to gain some money, building assets. So if you have house, so this is kind of like a resource.
Yeah.
So what are the other?
Is building asset the same as investment?
Yes, building asset could be same as assessment, investment. Yeah, you're right, because it's all about like finances. And other than finance, it's about privacy. That's correct. How about like social stature recognition? You know, so in some countries, people buy house to have their like social recognition. It has some social aspect as well. If you own a house, if you own a big house, that shows like, yeah, you are wealthy, this and that. So you have some sort of like social recognition.
Yes.
So that could be another point. So yes, 2 to 3 point is good enough. Sometime, yeah, you can write 4 points, but more than 4 points would be like very difficult to cover, you know. So we'll go for this. Okay. And do you think this is a positive or negative situation? So we'll write about some positive and we'll write about some negative. So here we write some positive. What are the positive development? And what are the negative of this? Yeah, it's kind of similar. Positive thing is kind of similar. What we have written, why they want to own. So we would be like paraphrasing these things. Okay. So yes. So positive development is like, yes, people will gain wealth, you know, gaining a house, wealth. So it would be like more finance oriented. Or we can write, yes, people becomes more conscious about their finance, about finance, because when you are buying house, okay, so you have to arrange money, this and that, so you have to be more cautious about your finance. So it's somewhat positive development. So what are the other positive we can take out of this? Maybe 2 will do, because here we have like many points, so we'll write 2 points here, 2 points negative here. Can you think of any other positive thing?
Maybe they have some form of
Yeah, almost like these things, yeah.
some form of security, like the
Yeah,
land
form
can
of
pass them
security.
at any time. So
Yeah, form of security. It's like the same thing, because these are actually the positive thing. Yeah, form of security, or we can say like an address.
yeah,
We're gaining an address, form of security. We call home, or like where do we belong, something like this. Okay, so what are the negative side of this thing, owning a house? So sometimes it costs like a large amount of money, so creates a large debt. Sometimes it creates a large debt. You buy a house and sometimes the repayment is like 30% of her salary, 40%. So it creates sometimes a big financial pressure on you. So yeah, that could be sometime creating negative impact on life. And in many cases now, many economists believe investing in housing is not a productive investment, because it costs you more, but the rate of return is less.
Oh, okay.
So that you can say as well, because sometimes, you know, like some people say that, yeah, in housing, maybe in 10 years it will get double price or something like that. So it's not like a great rate of return. If you consider like, you know, the Elon Musk got the second richest man this year, and his wealth or his stock price increased 5 times last year. Just in 1 year, it increased 500 times. But your asset will become 200 times in 10 years. So by the 10 years, some of the stock or other investment might give you like 20%, 30% increase. I mean, 20 times, 30 times, like 3000% increase sometime. Okay. So, yeah, rate of return could be low. Return could be low. So because, and also some economists also suggest that it create enough employment. If you create an industry with the same amount of money, you can employ 5, 10, 20 people. But creating a house, after your house is complete, there is no job. So that money is stuck in non-productive sector. So in some expanding economy, people are discouraged to like invest a lot of money in housing. Okay, so we have enough idea now. So now we start writing. Okay, so in writing, how we create introduction. So introduction we create with 3-4 sentences. So now we identify what are the keywords. The keyword is like here, owning a home, renting in some countries, and important for people. So we'll write something about those keywords. So try to focus on main keyword, maybe owning a house or renting. So we can write, okay, owning. So in IELTS, it's better to write everything in a synonymous way, okay? So owning a house is like exactly owning a home is the same word. So what else we can use instead of owning a house? So maybe we can try buying a residential property, something like this. Or renting, okay. So buying a residential property or renting depends on individual mindset or their thinking. So we write something like a general statement. Now we combine all these keywords and create our thesis statement. That means we create a complex sentence. Okay. So now they are talking about positive and negative, this and that. So what we'll do, we will try to address both these views here, like both the sides have pros and cons. And Therefore, people should choose wisely. So the people should choose wisely. Using, so in IELTS, they just encourage you to write with a stronger vocabulary. So people should try to choose wisely. It's kind of very simple. So people should use their discretion. You know, if we use some sort of a different word, it becomes kind of a better. Because if we use always simple forms and regularly used words, then the examiner may think that, oh, okay, we do not have enough vocabulary. Okay. Now in the third sentence, okay, we can write another general statement like, now I'd like, or now I discuss everything in detail, or something like that. Now I would like to discuss both views, or discuss everything in detail. In detail. So you can write detail, everything in detail, or elaborately, whatever you think is good. Okay, so now our kind of introduction is done. So what we're going to do, now we're going to write our description. So in descriptive part, so these are the things we have found. So why people own a house? So if we take this into our consideration, so people own a house for privacy. So here we write, to start with, or why people own a house, which depends on number of factors. Write something like this as well. Why people so own a house, that was in the topic, so we can say why people purchase house or a place to live. That depends. So we have used depends as well. So you can use something else other than depend. That relies on multiple factors. Or that relies on multiple socio-economic factor. So this way we can expand our outlook. Are you getting my point?
Yep.
Okay, now we have to write about these factors like privacy, build asset. So now just create a sentence with privacy, like why they buy a house. It depends on like multiple socioeconomic factors. So first and foremost, a house can provide privacy. Privacy for the person or the family, for the people or the family, you can say, for the person and the family. Okay. So now you need to explain how it provides privacy. Can you give me some relevant explanation, like a house providing privacy?
Well, it's provide privacy in such that if you can, there are some houses, if you are renting, they will tell you no visitors. So, and there's a number of people that can live in the house. In some instances, for the renting,
Yes,
they'll say, "Yo,"
yes, very, very good, very good.
but if
Yeah,
you have your own house, you can
mm.
accommodate whosoever the number
Yeah,
of people you want in your house. So,
yeah. So
it's
yes,
privacy.
so we can just reshape your ideas. So yes, in a housing, first and foremost, it provides privacy. So the as a owner, as a owner, one is the all in all in making decisions on who is going to live in that house with them or not, whereas in renting, such a flexibility may not be possible. For example, in a rented house, you may need special permission to host your friend for a few days, which violates privacy. On the other hand, if you are the owner, there is no such rule. So yes, in a as an owner, you can do a lot of things. Yeah, this gives you a lot of privacy, this and that thing. Okay, now let's come to the second point, building an asset. Okay, So how people can accumulate wealth. So we can write another connecting word like moreover or furthermore. People buy houses to create asset or build asset. To build asset. Right? Because in rent you pay everything to the owner, but when you own your house, whatever you pay in repayment, that actually reduces your debt, and finally you would own the house, which has financial value. So by doing so, people actually can save money. Okay, so now let's talk about our third point, social recognition. So yes, like furthermore, it's very easy. Furthermore, owning a house is a symbol of achievement in some societies. Some people believe that, okay, if you own a house, a car, that you are a successful man or established man. So yes, it has some sort of like a social stamp that, okay, you're doing well. So it's an achievement in some societies. For this reason, people are eager to take the ownership of a house to prove themselves successful. Okay, so yes, it gives you a sense of pride. Okay, so now we have deal with these issues. Now we'll go to the other part, which was saying that, do you think this is a positive or negative development? Now we'll go to this part. So if we go to this part, so in positive development, so now here we come again. So we are talking about something else, so we create another para. So alongside these or side by side, property ownership, property ownership as its dark side and bright side. Okay. So we can say merits, demerits. Okay, so instead of saying exactly like positive, negatives, so in IELTS it's better to like use other words, not always the same word. Okay, so synonymous word. It's merits and demerits, bright sides. Okay. Highlight the merits of owning a house firstly, it creates or it enables people to be more conscious financially. So it allows or help people to be more conscious about their financial well-being. Okay. Also, you're talking about investment, so that's a good word as well. Well-being has 2L, financial well-being. Okay, so as well as, okay, such as investment and saving, or okay, well-being, because we are writing a lot of things. I think we already have written more than 200 words and we'd be crossing well above 250, and if we write more than 300 words, what will happen? We'll be losing time. So yeah, make it short. It makes financial well-being. Okay. Other thing is like forms of security and address. Okay. So we have used other connectors like moreover, furthermore. So we can use not only this, but also what it else does. It gives a people an address and a secure place to live happily. Or live and enjoy life. Live and enjoy life. Okay, so now we have now the flip side. So what are the bad sides? However, so if we write in the same para, we can write however here, or you can write however here. Okay, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, so you can write however, we write here. Okay, however, What are the bad sides of investing in property? So that could be like, however, buying a house is sometimes very expensive and it creates a large amount of debt. Okay, so this is one problem. And what are the other problem we have? So many investors, besides many investors and financial experts believe that investing in a house has lower rate of return compared to other investments such as stock market. Stock market has like highs and lows. Yeah. Okay. So we have done our point analysis. Now we can go for the conclusion. So now everything is written. Now you give your opinion here in the conclusion. Okay. So now in some countries, owning a house rather than renting is important. Why this case? We have discussed about this. What are the positives and negatives? Okay. So here we can write in conclusion or overall. Okay. In conclusion or overall, finally, I'd like to opine, something like that you can write. Okay. In conclusion, what we can say. Do you have any concluding line in your mind? Yeah, you can give your opinion strongly supporting one side, or you can give your opinion like a sitting on the fence, like giving a middle view. Like you can say that in conclusion, buying a house has more advantages and it puts people in right track. So I will support that buying a house will give better opportunities, or it will enhance our living standards and other thing. Or you can say that buying house and renting both has their own merits and demerits, which people need to assess themselves depending on the situation. And then, yes, then you can say that owning a house and renting, that's like you're saying, depending on the people. Therefore, people should decide themselves which is better for the current situation and for their future decision. Like if people are always relocating, so buying a house may not be a good idea. Oh, we forgot about that.
Yeah.
When people are relocating, like when we do like a job in different places, like military person, they are always being posted in different parts of the country. If they buy a house in every place they have lived, so that would be a mismanagement, because they are not living there for more than 5-6 years, so always rotating. So that's not a good idea for them. So it's depending on the situation. Okay, so some people say that, yeah, saying one-sided conclusion is better. Some say that you can write middle view, or we can highlight both the sides. That depends on how you present. Okay, today we decide like a middle position. So in conclusion, buying a house or renting both show some merits and demerits. Therefore, individual should decide which option is better suited for their needs, is better suited for their needs and future prospects, depending on their individual, depending on their circumstances. What do you say? Yes, that could be something like a middleman of view. Okay, so conclusion could be 2 sentences or 3 sentences. You can write in another sentence as well. Okay. Okay, so in third line you can give your view as well. Like, yeah, still I believe, okay, owning a house may have some more advantage over renting. Or you can say, like, so we can say nonetheless, the matter is multifactorial, and would always depend on many socio-economic variables. Okay, so you are like strengthening your view, saying something more. So 2-sentence conclusion is okay. You can write 3rd sentence as well. You can give more explanation about this middle view, or you can express your own view again, no problem. So yeah, so something like this. So if you write something like this, it should cross more than 250 words, and you'll be able to manage your time.